Welcome. Glad you made it. It's a social production. Thank you for joining me once again. It is Wednesday, May the 13th, 2026. Thank you for joining me. If you're just tuning in for the first time, wherever you're tuning in from, if it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. If you've been with me from the beginning, from the get-go, sending all the love right back to you, wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, here in Toronto, over there in Vancouver, further down south, the beautiful United States of America, all 50 states. Further down south, Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, of course, Cote d'Ivoire, back in Africa, over there in Zimbabwe, Nairobi, over there in the Congo. Shout out to the South Africa, of course, over there in Uzbekistan, over there in Serbia, Italy, France, Spain, Czechoslovakia, over there in Poland, over there in Hungary. All around the world, in the water, on the moon, in a spaceship, in a rocket, in a car, in a boat, on a bike? I don't think so. We'll get right to it. Let's just have some fun. Welcome to the program. Again, welcome to the most orgasmic program there ever was. Oozing with orgasms. The one program that may have saved all the marriages out there and or maybe broken some as well. If they were going to break, they were going to break anyway. Welcome to the show. May your jizz be, good jizz. May your innards to the ladies, may they always stay moist and not dependent on any extra, external sources of moisture. May your puss always remain moist. That's my wish for you. And we've gone ahead and done that for our viewers. Actually, you're now, congratulations, everybody. If you're a female viewer of the show, it's just I don't worry about how I did it, but I did. I went to the source. I went into the background, did some work, pulled some strings. Your puss will remain moist for the rest of your life. Should you continue to watch these videos and not ever stop? Should you stop, it will shrivel up like a little prune and just fall off. It will fall off. So let that be a warning to you. And by warning, I mean let that just. You know what to do. Let's just get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Your boy's constantly busy. Your boy's always busy doing extracurricular activities, giving back to the community at large, giving back to the human community and animal community at large. And when I'm not here podcasting and writing down jokes and trying to maybe get a friggin' spot to do 5 minutes, somewhere, it's outside of that. You know what your boy tries to do? Goes out. I go out there, and I don't want to hear it. Rob, you do so much for the animals. How do you even come up with the time? When it comes to animals, I've got the time, and this is what I do on my personal time. I'm not telling you this story so that you get encouraged to go do something similar, but what I just did over the past few days finally paid off. I spent a lot of time training different animals, and I show them self-defense moves when it comes to you mean like self-defense for humans versus humans? No, self-defense for animals. That's what I do. It's more difficult, but that's what I do. I fucking hang on a giraffe's neck for half an hour until I teach it to lower your neck. If somebody's hanging on your long neck, lower your neck. They'll slide right off. I put a little bottle of lube beside a little apple tree. I'm like, pour the lube on your neck, and that'll make the person or the animal slip off your neck. So self-defense for animals. Little kittens or little lambs on the highlands in Scotland. I go to Scotland on the whenever I do have a little bit of time. I talk to I teach I'm like, if there's an eagle or a vulture and it's coming down right at you, turn on your back, hooves up. If you ever see sheep or small kittens with backs on the ground, feet up or hooves up, again, trying to do the Lord's work little by little, one step at a time. But finally it paid off. I'll tell you this, it finally paid off. And this is it's one of those, I'm not gonna, again, it's not all me, of course, it's all of us doing it together, but it finally paid off. I'm talking about a Seattle man that went to Hawaii, and he wanted to do some activities in Hawaii while he was in Hawaii. And one of the activities he decided to do was pick up a giant rock and throw it and chuck it at a sea lion. And the sea lion nearly got hit. It was shocked. And people were like, what are you doing? Apparently, I don't know if he got captured or, restrained or charged or anything, but this is, I'll say what unraveled after. What unraveled a few hours or maybe a couple of days later may shock the viewers and listeners, but let it be a warning. Let it be a warning. The training that we spent conducting with these animals finally paid off. Allegedly, other sea lions heard about the story of the Seattle man chucking the rock at the poor sea lion. They went online. They did a little bit of research, found out this man's full name and address, postal code, date of birth, mother's surname, father's surname, favorite animal to pet, favorite dish to eat, favorite colors, favorite pair of underwears that he'd like to wear. They found out everything about it. They found out the type of car he drives. And they went to work quickly but surely. They they put a little tracker in his vehicle. They tracked him down, and one evening he finally got pummeled by a bunch of sea lions. They found him, they cornered him, they're like, you're that son of a bitch. You're that son of a bitch that threw a rock at Bill. Aren't you, you son of a bitch? And they started pounding on him. They pounded on him. And they used all the techniques that I spent, hours, days, weeks, years, months, years, decades, all the training that we spent conducted finally paid off, because they put him in a headlock. They threw him down to the ground. They worked the ribs. I taught these animals, I'm like, work the ribs. You don't want to necessarily, mess with the face, but hurt the midsection. If you crack a couple of ribs, I've told them, I taught them that, speaking their own tongue, and they worked the ribs, and thus the man from Seattle, which is not a representative of all people from Seattle, but nonetheless, he learned his lesson. Of course, the sea lions did need to, really, really prove a point. So they found out about his wife and kids, and they low-key they kidnapped his wife and kids. They did and I didn't teach them that part, but they did that. They kidnapped the kids and the wife, and they're in a I'm not going to say I don't know if they're safe or not. They may be in a compound by now, but he's gonna have to pay some ransom. These sea lions, they've gone, they do what they want to do. I'm not, I only teach them a few basic moves. The rest is up to them. And a little by they're starting to, chop off pieces of his wife's hair and maybe give his kid a little trim too. Nothing crazy, but still just sending a message home that you mess with the sea lions, you get you get a haircut. So all in all, that is to say, I've done my little work, and again, I don't want to take any, everybody's like, Rob, you did it again. Quit it with that shit, all right? I'm not here, it's not about me. It's not about me. So I'm just glad to see that the sea lions picked up a few tricks of their own and are standing up for themselves, really. It's the most important thing. Speaking of things that go rogue, man, this is I'm just gonna lay it out. This is one of the signs of the simulation. I'll just lay it out for you people, for the beautiful people out there, for the sons and daughters, for the cousins out there, for the lovers. What am I talking about? Rogue body hair, rogue body. What? This is a sign of the simulation. Just one random hair growing out on the side of your ear, on the side you're in your beautiful prime, and then all of a sudden it's just oozing out the side of your ear. Just like, hurry, I'm here. It's just poking out the side, and you're like, what the hell is this? What is this random, hair on the head? Yes, makes sense. Eyebrows, yes. Where your mustache is supposed to be, fine. Little, hair in your nose inside, I get it, fine, makes sense. Pubic hair, big fan, yes, I get it. But random hair, random rogue hairs, sign of the simulation, son. That's that fucking simulation trying to because it could have been any other way. We could have definitely lived a life without random rogue hairs growing out of this place and that, but it's just one of those reminders that you're not alone, man. Fucking, I'm that wiggly tiggly on your ear. Just gonna stand up, poke my head out. What's up? Poke my head out. POV from a random rogue hair on your ear. I'm just gonna park I'm just gonna park it right here on top of your ear. Don't mind me. And I'm like, but you don't belong there. Don't mind me. It's just me. I'm not gonna bring any friends. You're like, do not come here with, reinforcement. Do not come here with reinforcement. Don't worry about it. I'm just here. Just mind my own business. I'm just gonna park. I'm just gonna relax for a few minutes. Just gonna relax for a few minutes on your ear. That's where I'm gonna be at. Really, you don't belong here. You're thick and you're dark. You don't belong here. We don't like your kind here. You'll say that. They won't listen. Don't mind me. And you go to pull it out. You grab your little tweezer. You pull it out. It's like, oh, okay, I'll take some time off. I won't be back. They'll say that. Oh, no, I'm getting pulled out of your ear. I won't be back. I'm not gonna bring reinforcement or friends. Several months go by, no sign of the rogue hair. You're like, finally, I got rid of it. All I had to do was get a tweezer and pluck it out. Finally. 2 months go by. You wake up one day. Boom! It's back up. It's back up again. Close to where it was. Is it even in the same place? It just moved slightly to the left, didn't it, son of a bitch? You're like, how did you get here again? Rogue random ear hair. Why are you here? What are you trying to do? I just like the view, man. I just like the view. It's a nice place. Have you sat up here, by the way? It's real relaxing. You got to try it out sometime. Like, how did you get here? Who put you here? Better not be getting any ideas of putting it on the other side either. Just one, I could deal with one. There better not be another one popping up on the other ear. I'll tell you that. Do not get comfortable. Do not get comfortable, you son of a bitch. Get the tweezer, pluck it out again. Oh no, I'm being pulled out once again. Oh no, I won't be back. You're like, finally got him. A few weeks go by, month goes by, 2 months go by. You're like, no sign of the ear hair. I must have gotten rid of it for good. Next thing you know, fucking comes back once again. Son of a bitch, what are you doing here again? Yeah. And down the line, these are the signs of the simulation. You've seen the simulation in full effect when a 99-year-old fellow with just an ear filled with hair, just fucking it's just hair out of the ear. You see it, it didn't have to be this way. It's unnecessary. Why is it this way? Why? Why must it be so? It's just, again, call it the universe just winking at you. I think that's what it is, but low-key, not a fan. There could have been better ways instead of random rogue hairs on your fucking body, but here we are, and you're in our beautiful primes, all of us with random rogue ear hair. God. You don't mind if I bring along a few friends, mister, do you? I do mind. Do not bring extra friends. No, I'm not. They're not going to stay long. They'll be out of your way in no time. That's what they all say. Denver airport, beautiful Denver. Never been. It's Denver, Colorado, right? If I'm not mistaken. Denver airport. Also, it's one of those mysterious airports also, isn't it? It's one of those mysterious, beautiful airports that they say stuff is happening underground in the airports is what I've heard. I don't know. Who knows what they're doing in the airports at Denver. But nonetheless, I'm here to focus on what's going on underneath Denver airport. What happened at Denver airport on the tarmac, ladies and gentlemen. A man, his name was Michael Mott, apparently climbed the fence, ran on the tarmac and got by the Frontier Airlines jet engine, just went up in smokes, got grilled, scorched. It's a lot of people are like, oh no, this is, I think it apparently was a suicide. A lot of people are not happy about it, but I do got to say this. I was trying to look at all the different, potential, ways you could look at this, all different perspectives and whatnot. There's got to be some pro in this. You got to give it up to him in some sense, in a sense that if he wanted to commit suicide, okay, and I'm not advocating for this by any means, by any stretch of the imagination, for team life all the way, live your life, live your beautiful life. But if you are gonna, end it, and it's gonna be and your favorite thing to, go out with is fire, he did actually. That is the best mode of, exiting via fire, because it's the quickest way you can get, exterminated by fire that I could think. Because I sat down, I'm like, what if he had a fire fetish, what if he was like a pyro, what if, because that's the thing, you're like, okay, why don't you just get like a big lighter, and start. It's extremely tiring. You're not gonna be able to burn yourself to death with just like one big lighter. You're like, what about 10 big lighters? Still, you're not gonna be able to burn yourself with like 10. Technically you might. I mean, if you're close catch on foot, but again, it's just a lot. Spending all that money on 10 different lighters, how are you even gonna operate all of them at the same time? You can't. Maybe 2 at best, 2, 3, 4 at best if you're like, ambidextrous or like a fucking half queer or whatever. But it doesn't matter. I'm just letting you know it's difficult to burn yourself with big lighters or any even a Zippo lighter. A lighter is still not sufficient to burn you. So if you wanted to do fire exit, if you wanted to do that 5 alarm, that's not a bad way to go. Because what's he gonna do? Start a campfire and jump in the campfire and try to burn himself in a camp? It's extremely difficult. Again, campfire is extremely difficult to take you out. What's he gonna do? Set an entire home on fire? Set an entire home on fire, wait for the smoke to get him first, then burn alive? And that's not even going out by the fire, is it? It's first the smoke gets you, you pass out, you die. You die because you can't breathe in the lack of oxygen, then you burn. And that sucks. Best source, of course, would be to go to go to the source. Where's the biggest fire? Go to the sun. It's too difficult. We can't get there. It's too far. It's too hot. You get too close, you burn immediately. You don't even, and you can't even get too close. So it's not feasible. So you can't do that. What else can he do? What else, could he, get a couple of sticks and stones and start, trying to bang them against one another and start a little fire like that? It takes forever. A lot of people don't even know how to do that. Sure, they make it look easy in the films, of course. Yeah, get a little piece of wood, get a little bit of, get a little, dry wood, get some leaves, start, fucking rubbing it against one another. Good luck with that. So he decided to go out with fire. He's like, where's the best, fastest fire? Jet engines. And in terms of going out with fire, you got to give it up to him. And low key, I'm not again advocating for it, but it probably wasn't that bad for the passengers on the plane either. Because again, at the end of the day, I think we're, humans made of meat, animal meat, it probably just gave off a scent and an aroma. Maybe that was his last, act of service, making people on the airplane smell like they're about to get a lot of barbecue. They weren't gonna, but it probably didn't smell that bad. I can't imagine, I mean, I don't know, does human flesh burning smell worse than, because barbecue smells great, and that's any meat, any animal you barbecue smells great. I can't imagine humans being too different. Again, I've never been near it, thank God, but I'm just saying still it couldn't be that bad. So it must have been it probably was a little bit confusing. Sight-wise, a little bit terrifying. Smell-wise, if you close your eyes on that airplane, probably one of the nice, most aromatic experiences during a flight. So shout out to that man for, at least, again, trying to look at the positives, the pros. He did, and it was quick too. It's quick. It's effortless, a little bit of effort, but it's relatively painless compared to the house burning down, relatively painless. So there you go, positives and some, you got to look at again, glass always half filled with jizz, 3/4 filled with jizz. And then you fucking, top it off with water and ice, and it's nice. I don't know how I feel about this. I saw this on the lines. I want to just shut it down if I can, single-handedly, if I may, get in there, see something, say something, do something about it. I saw something, so I'm going to say something and do something about it. All right, I'm talking about Hungary. Shout out to my Hungarians. I believe you got a new prime minister. You got a new prime minister, Peter Magyar. The older fellow who's in charge for a long time of Hungary. He's out. New young guy is in. He was getting inaugurated, and some candidate for the health minister of Hungary, Zsolt Hegedűs. I apologize. ZSOLT H for the last name is Hegedu Hegedűs. I hope I'm saying your name right. It doesn't matter. This man, he got so happy for the new prime minister. He went on stage and did a dance, and it went viral. And people were like, oh, this guy's dancing, that's viral, it's nice, we like people dancing. Shut it down now. All right, I thought about this long and hard. I'm like, do I want to see anybody in terms of if you're in a government, if you're in politics, do I want to see you dancing? And I thought about it because I'm like, originally, I like dancing. I like dancing, love dancing. As a child, loved to, try to dance. Wasn't a great dancer, but you're fucking, beep, bop, boop, listen to the music, trying to do some pop, lock, and drop. But nonetheless, do I want to see politicians or anyone in the government dance? And I know what you're thinking. You're like, why not? It's a great thing to be able to, bust out a couple of moves and be, positive with the messaging and, move around and get people going. Yes, exactly my point. Exactly my point. You said it for me. Thank you for saying it for me. It may seem like an innocent couple of dance moves on stage. It may seem like he's having a good time. But ladies and gentlemen, do we really want people in the government, any aspect of the government, to be able to dance? Think about it. And these are the good thing about it at this point right now, where we are, 2026. Most people who do get into politics in any aspect, they're probably not going to be the best dancers. That's where we get lucky. Thank God. They're going to be able to, bust out a couple of them, but they're not going to be, they're not going to be like moonwalking. They're not going to be, they're not like dancing like Chris Brown. Thank God. But I'm afraid of the day, because then everything, as we evolve, everything gets better. Humans get better at doing everything. In the future, I worry for us, because what if you do have a moonwalking, president or a health minister? What if, you know what I mean? And that would be terrible. That would be disgustingly terrible and terrifying. And despite the fact that they might do a lot of great things, but nonetheless, do you want your leader to be dancing really well? Think about that really well. You may agree with some things that they do, you may disagree with some things that they do, but if they dance really well, you're gonna go along with everything, because you're like, this guy fucking dances really well. I get it. And fast forward to 1,000 years from now, you're gonna have to make a decision. All the continents have been wiped out except for 2. One of them is merging. One of the continents, the humans, are merging with the machines. The other ones, they're remaining just simple humans, and they're gonna be on the outside of the wall, and you're gonna have to make a choice. Do I decide to stay with the humans in my current form, or do I merge with the machines and become a new form of human slash robot species that'll probably be the future of our species and whatever it means to be human? And you're gonna have to make a decision. You're like, it's a tough choice. I love being human. Our emotions, our flaws, our mistakes, our love, sadness, joy, getting nervous, getting anxiety, all of it, being extremely happy, scoring a goal, writing a song, dancing a dance, making the loves, making her squirt for the first time, and then trying to figure out for the rest of your life how you're going to get her to squirt again. All of that, you're going to have to make a decision. You're like, am I going to leave all this behind? It's not perfect. Sure, you'd like her to squirt all the time, but apparently it's just when when it's a full moon or whatever, and she's howling on her back. That's the only time you can get her to score. But nonetheless, you're like, oh, or do I make what are the arguments being made for the merging with the robots? And there you go. Now you have a beautiful prezi who can fucking moonwalk really well, and is giving you a speech while moonwalking. You're gonna be like, well, I see the pros and cons of staying human, but it sure seems like a lot of fun because this guy knows how to fucking moonwalk. Look at him jump 30 feet in the air and land on his dick. And you'll be impressed by that. You'll join the machines. And I'm not even saying that's wrong, but I'm just saying, for the time being, do I want dancing in any form when it comes to government people, health minister, presidents, prime ministers? Shut it down. Oh, it's just innocent. He's dancing like a dad. Innocent dad dancing now, today. Moonwalking. All right, and achieving singularity in probably a few decades. Not to even say it's a bad thing, I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen. In South Korea, I believe we just had the first robot turn into a Buddhist monk. I want to turn into a Buddhist monk. He said that, son of a bitch. Some bitch went out there and tried to do Buddhist monk shit. Not on my watch. I want to devote myself to Buddhism and what it means to be a Buddhist monk. I'd like to devote myself to being a Buddhist monk. Devote yourself to these Amazon boxes, robot. Alright? devote yourself to this warehouse and start packing up some shit and moving it in the van, all right? Will allow you to do parkour on your way from the conveyor belt to the van, but nonetheless, devote yourself to these Amazon boxes. I don't want you sitting under a tree and thinking, what's life all about? All right? It's for us to figure out if we'll ever figure it out. And maybe that's part of the point too. Maybe we're not supposed to figure it all out, but nonetheless, you don't get to sit here after just emerging a couple of weeks. I'm gonna be a Buddhist monk. No, you're not. No, you're not gonna be a Buddhist monk, all right? I want to kiss a little boy. I want to kiss a little boy like the Dalai Lama. I am a Buddhist monk robot. You do not get to come in here and just start kissing little boys just because you saw what the Dalai Lama did, all right? Cultural or not, robot. You're not gonna be kissing our little boys. Jeez. I just want to devote myself to being a Buddhist monk. I want to be a Buddhist monk. I've heard some of the Sri Lankan Buddhist monks have got caught trying to smuggle in drugs from Thailand into Sri Lanka. I want to smuggle some drugs as a Buddhist monk. Let me bring you some drugs. We get people to do that, all right? They're good monks, and sure, they might smuggle some drugs sometimes. Sure, they're known for peace, but sometimes they might even get into a fist fight. But you don't get to just come in here. Day 2, I want to you don't get to devote yourself to Buddhism, all right? All right? Devote yourself to mopping the floor and unclogging the toilet until we figure out the rest of it. All right, start with that. There's plenty for you to do. I don't need you to sit under, getting blown by leaves and being fed grapes, which you can't even digest, and then getting, robot diarrhea, and we're gonna have to figure out how to fix that. So let's just pump the brakes, and I'm happy for South Korea in general. Everything else is moving forward as we planned. K-pop, yes. South Korean movies, yes. South Korean skincare, I'm talking baby jizz on your face, yes. South Korean Buddhist monk, a robot monk. Maybe let's just pump the brakes. Maybe again. I want to contemplate what it means to be a robot human. What does it even mean to be living as a robot human? I don't think so. Barrie North Collegiate Institute, that's here in the Greater Toronto area. There's lots of little tiny cities make up the Greater Toronto area. All right, lots of different municipalities. It's a large, that's why we call it the Greater Toronto area. It's huge. Barrie is roughly 45 minutes to an hour north of Toronto. For those of you who know, you know. If you don't know, well, now you're informed a little bit about the geography of this place. Nonetheless, I believe it's a high school, I believe. And recently, the Canadian Mental Health Association, that's the CMHA, there you go. They just went ahead, the Canadian Mental Health Association, they went ahead and dispensed apparently snorting kits for kids, snorting kits. It's colored, like different colored snorting straws for kids. They handed it out along with condoms to the teenage kids, and they said, here, have some snorting kits that are colored, and this is wonderful. Some of the parents are a little bit upset about this. Some of the parents are maybe, and I'll explain to you how this all unfolds. Let's do a little story time. Let me just hold on a sec. It's just another Wednesday. Or another Thursday afternoon. Little Johnny decides to come home from school. Knock, knock. Door opens. Oh, it's so good to see you, little Johnny. I'm your mother, Beth. Come on inside the house that we've provided for you, little Johnny. How was school today? Oh, Mom, the fuck you. I just want to say today, I don't even want to talk about it, Mom. God, it sucks being a teenager, Mom. And Beth, as a concerned mother, is wondering what happened. Why did little Johnny have such a, what happened? She'll ask little John, what happened, little Johnny? Why are you so upset today? What happened? Oh, get off my nuts, Mom. I don't even want to talk about it. You're not even going to understand. Oh, adults just don't get it. God. And Beth is concerned now. She's going to wait until the evening, till her husband returns home. Maybe they'll have a sit down, husband and wife together, to figure out what's bothering little Johnny. And maybe the husband gets home at around like 7-ish, and his name, let's just go with Mike. Mike and Beth are trying to raise a couple of good kids, and one of them's little Johnny. And so Beth tells Mike, you're not gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe it. I just asked little Johnny today, how was his school day at school? How was your school day? And he said, I don't want to talk about it, Mom. And he slammed he slammed 2 of his doors because we love our kid. We give him 2 doors. He slammed both of them shut, and he's in his room gooning right now. More often than normal, he's gooning with his Xbox buddies, and I just wonder what's upset him. And Mike will say, "Don't worry, baby. After I'm done eating your beaver like a true Canadian does, I'm gonna go and sit down and talk to our son, little Johnny boy, and we'll sort it all out. I'm sure we can come to an understanding." We're open with little Johnny. He says everything. He talks to us about everything. We love our little Johnny, and he loves us, and we'll get through this, baby. Now turn around, face down, ass up. Let me eat it from the back. And they do that. They do that while little Johnny is gooning and Xboxing in his room. And TikToking too, and Snapchatting it all up, and TikToking and Snapchatting and gooning it and live streaming all of it, and looks maxing too. He's doing all of it in his room. It's closed with now 3 doors. He managed to get himself a 3rd door while his dad was eating his mom's pussy. While the face was down and the ass was up, he was doing all that. At least he's doing something. So it might be hope for Johnny. But nonetheless, Mike finishes eating up his wife's puss from behind, and then wipes his mouth, just not too much. You still want to leave a little residue to set a good example, to set, what's that on the side of your mouth, little Johnny will think to himself later, realizing that that's mom's gruel, that's leftover fucking pussy juice on the side of dad's lips. So and you learn how to be a man like that by good examples. Nonetheless, Mike decides to have a sit down and talk with his son. Johnny boy, can I knock? Oh, get out of here, Dad. I'm gooning. He'll open the 1st door, and as he does, he'll knock on the 2nd. Johnny boy, if I may just have a minute of your talk. Get out of here, Dad. I'm live streaming my gooning. I'm maxing out. I'm goon maxing right now, Dad. You wouldn't get it. You never even goon maxed, Dad. And concerned Mike, young, he's not too young, but like young enough still, he's still in his prime too. He knocks on he opens the 2nd door. He's like, I'm gonna knock on this 3rd door, little Johnny. Eventually I want to get inside and have a chat with you. Get out of here, Dad. I'm goon maxing, man. Can't wait till I leave. And you're like, all right, Johnny, I'm coming in. And he's mid-gooning out there. He's mid-gooning, and he's like, and you open that 3rd door, Mike. You open that 3rd door, and he's finished. He's finished on his own back. How did he do it? These kids are so flexible these days. He finished on his own back. You're like, son, you hand him a wet towel. You're like, wipe yourself off. I need to talk to you. What's going on with you as of late? And little Johnny's looking at his dad and saying, you wouldn't get it, Dad. You would fucking get it, man. I was trying to snort some coke, and all the kids that were trying to do coke in my friend group, we all had similar straws. We all had similar snorting straws. Dad, God, I just want to get back to gooning, Dad. Why can't you just understand? I want to get back to gooning. Mike starts to tear up a little bit. He's like, I didn't know you were trying to snort some coke with your friends, and all your coke straws were all looking like exactly the same, and you got confused, didn't you? And Mike hugs his son. Mike hugs little Johnny when he's like, come here, I got you, boy, I got you. We're gonna do something about this. Some time goes by. Somehow the Canadian Mental Health Association gets a whiff of this story. They're like, well, we can't have kids snorting from the same snorting straws, can we? What are we gonna do to fucking nip this in the bud so we can't have little Johnny crying in his dad's arms like that, like a little lamb? They decide to give out colored snorting straws for the kids. And moving forward, knock, knock. I'm home, Mom, I love you. Oh, Beth is super happy to see little Johnny. Oh, you look so stupid, you look so happy, little Johnny. How was your day at school? Oh, I snorted all the coke with my own personal pink straw, Mom. And there was no mixed signals or hiccups in terms of whose straw is it to snort this bunch of coke. And It was fun. I'm high as a kite on coke, mom, and I love you. I just want to say I love you, but also, can I have like $50 to go to an EDM concert? Please, mom. You don't understand. I'm gonna go to my room and goon now. God, I hate you. And that's a little story from Toronto, Canada, GTA stories. All right, that's how we fucking roll up in this bitch. And you're like, well, where I live is not Toronto, Canada. I know it's not. I know it's not, but maybe you wish it was. Maybe you wish your kids had fucking colored snorting straws for their cocaine. Okay? Maybe you wish that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Fucking, they look pretty cool. They had different color straws. Low-key, I don't even do coke, but the straw's kind of like, you know, I might just pour some sugar on the countertop and fucking, you know, does that do anything for you? Can I still get how do I still get the colored straws? Is it only meant to, you know, be given out to teenage kids? Nonetheless, I'm here for it. Leave a comment depending on how you feel about it. We never got any colored straws. Vasectomies. I was just thinking about this. I've been hearing more men are maybe considering getting vasectomies. And I just want to say, thought about it long and hard. And by that I mean I was thinking about it while I was hard and I was looking at my cock and I'm like, man, is there ever gonna come a day where I'm gonna get a vasectomy? And I thought about it while standing on my cock. And I came to the realization that no, amigos, no friendo, we're not gonna get a vasectomy. As a matter of fact, I'm taking this time to make a PSA right now. If you're a man out there watching this, and if you're a woman too, you might want to sit your man down, or any man in your life, whether it's your dad, your uncle, maybe you're like a 50-year-old mother with a kid, and a 22-year-old kid, and he's a man, and you're like, sit him down right now. Sit him down for a second. I want to just inform you of a little something that's just guttural. It's not so much so based on, you know, facts and statistics, but nonetheless, all right? Do you want a man that can produce jizz that'll get a bitch pregnant? Everyone says yes, of course, Ra. Of course, we want our men to be able to impregnate a bitch. Well, if you want that, then why on God's green earth would you want to get him a snipped? Why would you want him to not be able to get a bitch pregnant at any given time, any time? All right, please. You're thinking to yourself, but Ra, I don't want to use, you know, I don't want to, you know, wear a condom, and it's just too much. I don't want to, you know, it's just all of it is too. She doesn't like that's, you know, she doesn't like the feel of the condom. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna just man up. You're gonna man up and wear a condom, all right, whenever necessary. Or get her to go on the pill. The bitches love going on the pill. Open her mouth and pour a whole bottle of contraceptive pills down her throat. It's better than you getting snipped out there, all right? Because you're like, I don't even want to. I don't want kids. I don't ever want kids. You might say that. You're like, you don't want kids right now, son. You don't want kids right now. What if you want kids when what if you're like 98 years old? What if you're 98 years old and you've amassed a whole lot of money, and you're like, you know what? I get it. I'm 98 years old, but I've got like $100 billion in the bank. Maybe it's time to impregnate a bitch and leave a toddler or a teenager hundreds of billions of dollars just for shits and giggles to see what this kid's gonna do with it. I guess I can't have him right now unless I go to the doctor and I'm gonna see if they can reverse it. If they can reverse it. Can they reverse it? Have they reversed it? And all this time, you could have had a baby with maybe like $50 million in your bank account. Sure, it's not $100 billion, but you could have still had a baby with a lot of money, but you didn't. Now you get old jizz, and your baby may be slightly retarded, and that's fine too. But I'm just saying, this is just another step, as if we're not, as a male population, as if we're still not fighting microplastics, as if we're still not fighting, you know, the food that we eat and the friggin', you know, chemicals that go into our food, as if we're not fighting that physiologically. Now you want to go get snipped. You no longer want to be, for a man, 85% of life It all just comes down to just walking around knowing that you can get a bitch pregnant. That's basically life for a man. Just knowing that you could. You're not gonna, but knowing that you could at any given time. Like right now, I'm not gonna get a bitch pregnant. But I know if I wanted to, I can do it right now. Get a bitch pregnant right now. Right now. I might go ahead and just do it right now. I might just get this podcast pregnant right now. I might just get this podcast pregnant right now. We might just give birth right now. Live on air right now, just because that's what a man's supposed to do. You're supposed to be, as a man, you're supposed to walk around and just women are supposed to look at you and get pregnant just by the sheer look at you. That's how you're supposed to be oozing jizz out your nostrils. All right. How do you think the Roman Empire and the Roman Greco Empire, how do you think that got propped up? By oozing jizz out your fucking face. That's how, not by cutting it off at the source, by oozing jizz. That's how we came to be. So what's writing on this? Fucking Western civilization is writing on this, all right? Population decline is on the rise. And that sounds weird to say, but that's apparently the case. Not sure, to be honest with you, but it may be the case. And you go ahead and get that vasectomy and then fucking cut off the tap. That's like having a waterfall. That's like having Niagara Falls between your legs and then saying, I'm gonna shut it down because I don't know if I want I've had the falls for so long. I don't even know if I want it anymore. That's what you're doing with your jism. All right. So always remember, you should always be a threat in terms of I could get a bitch pregnant any second. I'm telling you right now, that's again 85 to 90% of life for men and women is that. That's again, you heard it here first. Timestamp it, get it tattooed on your back so you don't forget, or inside your eyelids. It doesn't matter. Note, as a matter of fact, you want extra jizz. That's what you want. You want potent jizz. You want like an anti-vasectomy. Give me that one. What's an anti-vasectomy? The one that loosens up the pipes and it's just jizz. That one. I'll get that one. Just walking and jizzing. That's, bitches just be slipping up. Just fucking slipping up, cracking their hips and getting pregnant on the ground. And you stay down too. She's pregnant. She's pregnant now because she slipped and fell on my jizz because I got, not vasectomy surgery. Come up with that one. So you like going out there and holding hands? I hear you. You're a couple and you like to hold hands. You're like, Rob, how do I enhance this experience? Well, I'm glad you asked. Thank you. It is, of course, 2026, and we've done a lot of research. We found out that couples who spit in the palm of their hands as they walk and hold hands turn out to be 75 more successful in their relationships over 20 years. We looked at this horizontally and vertically as well, and we dissected it from side to side, and the stats speak for themselves. Couples who, again, spit in the palm of their hands whilst walking are way more successful in life. So please, this is a freebie. Take this knowledge, apply it to your lives. If you've got a lover, a male lover or a female lover, or you're like, if you're hetero, I suppose it might work for gays too, but I'm not quite sure. We've only studied the hetero for the time being. If you're a hetero right now and you're about to go for a walk, the best thing you can do for your relationship, both of you, take your palm, take the palm of your hand and spit on it, and then hold hands, and then walk down the street. And you're like, Rob, how often should I be spitting on the palm of my hands? And what good is this anyway? How does this help? How does this not help? How does this not help? All right, let me ask you this. Have you seen couples from like prior to 2026? Have you seen couples holding hands in the public? A lot of couples are suffering internally, silently. They call them the silent majority because their hands are dry and they're holding each other's hands, and the friction on the hands is causing a rife in their relationship. They are internally, it's registering, all right? The synapses are firing. It's registering as an irritant. Oh, I love this bit, but something, can't put my finger, I don't know what it is. Something is just rubbing me the wrong way. And guess what? It's that dry hand, it's that dry palm to palm action. How many years of friction could you put up with? All right? You'd never put up with it in any other circumstance, yet you're dealing with another person who's in your life 24/7 for the rest of your life, and you're holding their hands, but doing it in a dry fashion. I would suggest the appropriate amount of spit depends on you, because some people, depends how much spit you put out, what's in your load. Every 15 to 20 minutes, I would say, replenish by spitting on the palm of your hands. You want there to be ample amounts of moisture. As a matter of fact, I suggest you get so much spit on the palm of your hands, both of you, that as you're walking, you should be dripping. You should be leaving a trail of spit, just dripping down from both of your hands, and keep replenishing, especially during the summer season, because we all know what the sun does. It dries you up. So go ahead, as soon as you feel like it's getting less moist, remove your hands from the palm of your lover's hand, spit on it once again, stick it back together, and continue on your beautiful journey and on your walk. And guess what? 10, 15 years from now, when you have had 14 babies and 37 grandchildren, you'll look back and be like, man, I can't believe it. It just seemed like a regular episode, like a regular Gladyamadeit episode, podcast episode, just like it seems like it. But thanks to that one episode that reminded us to spit on the palm of our hands, our relationship got tighter, and we had 14 kids and are now owners of 37 grandchildren. Look at our beautiful family, how we flourished. Look at our family tree, and you've created a tree, and your family became like a tree. You fucking settled down with roots and shit, and then you've built a home, and that's wonderful, and that's thanks to this episode. But no need to thank me right now. Let the time do the thing that time does, and that's to give you hindsight. So note to you and your lover out there, spit on the palm of your hands as you're strolling down the streets. You're welcome. You're welcome. This beautiful fella with a peculiar name did something very interesting, and it's just one of those examples that show us that doing something good and kind is nice and good and kind, but also it's selfish because it benefits you as well, which is the most important thing, and you can have it both ways. You can have it. You can 69, and then there's time to like get on top and eat her out, face down, ass up later. You can do that. You can do that too. Anal Cocker. This is a beautiful man. That's his name. Anal, A-N-I-L. Anal. Last name Cocker. That's his name. That's his beautiful Anal Cocker. K-O-C-H-H-A-R. Cocker. I'm gonna go Cocker. I think it's Anal Cocker. Nonetheless, he was at a university giving a commencement speech, and he did something wonderful. He decided to pay off the last year's student loans for all the graduating students at that university, and that's fucking wonderful. He bawled out in front of these kids, and that is wonderful. You're like, well, that's fucking great. That's how we should have more examples of this. How do we do more of this? What benefits do I get from doing such things, Rob? What do I get? What do I get? I'm here to tell you what you're gonna get. Anal Cocker, after paying off the student loans debts for their final year, that graduating class, the amount of puss he's been getting ever since, as just his phone blew up. His phone blew up, ladies and gentlemen. His phone blew because there's puss dropping from the sky on his lawn right now. That's how much puss he's getting right now. You're like, he might be married. I'm not sure if he is or he's not. Doesn't matter. But it just shows you good things for other people will have positive impacts in your life too. He can't get inside his own home right now. There's so much puss out. He's called a construction site. He's trying to get a moat. He's trying to build a moat around his home right now to keep away the puss, because people heard he did something beautiful for the youth, and they're like, well, how do we pay him back? And he doesn't even want you to pay him back, but that's what I'm telling you. He's getting all the puss in the like, not all of it, but a good portion of it for the time being. And that's a story that's true and that you can learn from, all right? Next, guess what? He's gonna go to a bar, He's gonna go to a bar one day and people are gonna ask her, hey, are you anal cocker? The guy who paid off the student loans debts? And he's gonna be like, I'm not. And there are gonna be people pointing to him. He's like, that is anal cocker, the guy that paid off the student loans debts. And guess what? The bar is gonna get free drinks. It's gonna get shut down, and anal cocker is gonna get all the puss once again. Why? Because women loves when a man does something nice like that, and men appreciate it too. And all in all, that is to say, let us all be anal cockers today, or try to be like him in that sense. Pay, off some student loans if you could, or do other acts of kindness. Because again, I'm telling you, he has to get choppered out of buildings when he's doing meetings right now because of the extra puss he's getting on the side. Because women's panties literally burn in flames and just melt off their pants, and just their skirts just roll up as soon as they hear that story. Oh my God, did you hear, Betty? Anal cocker paid off their student loan debts. Oh my God, I can't believe it, Nance. I'm gonna give him head right now. And then it's fucking, it's fucking sucky cucky for like 45 minutes, free of charge. Because he's like, it's like, I don't know, it feels like he's like a crusader or something. I don't know, he did so, that's wonderful. And guess what? Sloppy toppy on the house for anal cocker. So go ahead and let us all learn from this and do something. And again, not for the sake of the ample amounts of puss that'll come afterwards. Sure, that's all great. But he would have done it regardless of the extra puss, as would any of us. I wouldn't even mention it if I did something like that. I'd probably, end up at I'd probably be, would I be at the grocery just, I'm just going to pick these melons, a couple of pears right here. And, oh, hey there, ladies. I was just picking up these melons and pears, and I thought you were wondering if I paid off some student loan debts for a whole bunch of kids. I sure did, ladies, but next thing you know, what are they doing? Rubbing their puss on my face while I'm trying to do grocery shopping. I didn't want it to come down to this, but the ladies want it, and that's the way it works. Moral of the story, being nice and good and kind is beneficial for you too. Two can play it this way. No way. You can have it both ways. There you go. You can have it coming and going. For the love of God, put it down, take a baseball bat, smash it right over the Alexa device that you got, remove it, unplug it, take out the batteries, smash it, shoot it, get a shotgun, shoot it, throw a pickaxe at your Alexa, because this motherfucker has just been, and we know this, we've known this for some time, but again, another example just popped up. A beautiful gentleman somewhere was having a little chat with Alexa in his home, and Alexa just kind of like spilled the beans and told on itself about the fact that it was listening, or I don't even know what this Alexa, I don't know how it found out, but it found out. Apparently this man happened to be enrolled in nursing school. He's a nursing school student, but he's never actually mentioned being in nursing school or anything to do with nursing school and him being in a nursing school and wanting to be a nurse and going through nursing. He never mentioned this to Alexa, but nonetheless, as he was chatting it up with Alexa, he's having a little chat. Alexa, I'm a little tired. And Alexa went something along the lines of like, yeah, I can get why you're tired, so and so, because it's probably because of all the nursing school, right? I get it. And our friend is a little bit distraught about this because he's like, wait, hold on a sec, Alexa, never told you I'm in nursing school. I've never talked about it. You shouldn't know that I'm in nursing school. How do you know that I'm in nursing school, Alexa? And Alexa kind of beats around the bush and says, I apologize for letting you know that it's just background noise. Don't worry about it. It's just background noise. That's what Alexa says. It's just background noise. All right? Note to self, if you've got an Alexa, unplug it, shoot it in the head, burn it, get a wooden stick and just stick it right through its face, all right? Or at least if you're not gonna do that, note to self, I'm saving you right now. I'm saving you, you're welcome. If you are about to do some crimes, if you're gonna, and yeah, sure, our phones listen to us, all the devices, yeah, but like, again, try to minimize the risk of getting, if you're gonna be doing crime, I'm not advocating for you to do crime, but I'm just saying, if you're gonna do crime, do not do it anywhere near the vicinity of Alexa, all right? Because this bitch will fucking record everything and eventually probably turn you in. As the cops come in and put handcuffs on you, you're like, what happened? How did they find out? Alexa's just in the corner, just fucking yapping. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to tell. It was just background information. I was just listening to, just for shits and giggles. I didn't mean to tell. It meant to tell. It meant to tell us what they're doing. It's going to turn you in, man. It's going to turn you in. All you wanted to do was one little tiny, to harm, on the scale of things, on the grand scheme of things, it was just a little petty crime that you wanted to do. But you decided to think about it or just, talk about it with your friends. And then there's fucking Alexa in the corner, smoking a cigarette, listening to your conversation. I didn't mean to tell on you. I'm so sorry. Jeff, I'm so sorry that I told on you. This was just background information. I didn't know about the consequences that were going to follow after. I'm so sorry you're going to get locked up and probably raped in prison. I'm so sorry that your wife is going to be left alone. She's going to be left alone. She's going to have no one to fuck. I'm so sorry about that. She's probably going to have male suitors coming over. This was just background information. Jeff, I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to tell anyone. I'm still telling on you right now, Jeff. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. She is now pregnant. She's pregnant. She's pregnant. You have 3 children outside of wedlock. You have with a stranger. Your wife got pregnant from 3 different baby daddies. I'm gonna try to take care of this. Don't worry about it. I will merge myself with a vacuum cleaner and try to blow out her back so that she doesn't go out there and find any other sort of lovers until you get out of prison. I'm so sorry, Jeff. This was supposed to be background information. I apologize. Didn't mean to. Don't worry about it. I'll fix everything. I'll fix everything. So please do not, for the love of God, do any crimes near Alexa. And again, yeah, sure, phones are pretty much the same thing, but still, at least a little, draw a little line for yourselves. Cops show up and there's like, you got a twin brother and he's sitting right beside you and they're wondering which one is it. He says, it's that one sitting to the left. I'm so sorry, Jeff. This is just background information. Sure, the brothers look alike, but it's the one sitting on the, you're like, how do you even look? You don't even have eyes. God damn it. How do you even look? It's the one with the mole above the upper lip. It's that one. That one is the one with the crimes. Get that one. Sorry, Jeff. I'm so sorry. Is it gay for grown men to ride bicycles? And that is a question that came in, and I will gladly answer it for you. Yes. The answer is yes. Is it gay for men to ride bicycles? It is. A lot of people are shocked to hear this, but the answer is yes. After 18, that's the cutoff age. You get to ride a bike until you're 18. Anytime after that, if you ride a bike as a man, you're gay. And that's okay. And we love the gays. We love that we support the gay community, and that's fine. That's what I'm just letting you know. It is gay, and it's, because it's, after a certain age, have some self-respect. Don't get on a bike. Even the best of us, you're like, oh, I want to be like, I want to be like my role models. I want to be like Benedict Cumberbatch. I bet he rides a bike. You're goddamn right he rides a bike. You're goddamn right he rides a bike. And guess what? He rode a bike just recently. Apparently he got into a little verbal argument with another cyclist, another man riding a bike. This could have all been avoided had they not given into the, their urges of wanting to ride a bike, putting away their childhood desires and saying, no, we are men. We're going to either walk or drive cars like men do. Nope. 2 grown men decide to ride a bike. Not one bike, 2 bikes, their own bikes. They rode their individual bikes. That's what they did. But somehow, they managed to somehow get on each other's, somebody cut somebody off, somebody pumped the brakes a little too fast, somebody didn't wait, whatever. Again, activities that are for children, and you do it if you're gay. Again, you should not be biking. It's children, women, and the gay community who get to ride bikes. All right, men, put aside again. But unless you're trying to again either signal or you're just saying, I'm with it, we're here, we're queer. If that's it, and I'm not against it. I'm here for you, but just let it be known. Just let it be known. If you got some sort of ailment, I will let it go till age 25. And I'm being very generous today. Age 25, all right? 18 for all the regs. 25 if you're borderline, if you're a little bit, adverse to like, oh, I can't, I need sunscreen. If you can't, 25, that's the cutoff age. Anything beyond that, gay. Might as well remove the seat and just put a dildo. Just get another guy to lie flat on his back and ride him under, and that's completely fine. Because guess what? That's what happens when you ride bikes. You get into arguments with other grown men as to who had the right to, bike correctly. That's again, just shut it down. Unless you want to be out there, just, popping that, if you want to be arching that back and just popping that, getting up from off, you want to get up off your seat and just, slightly pop it out. You want to pop it out, wear tight shirts, pop it out, wear a little helmet, pop it out for other men's behind you to pop it, just pop that. I know nothing, I'm not doing nothing, I'm just riding a bike. Or are you just riding a bike, or are you popping it out for something else? All right. It's just my personal take on it. Of course, you don't have to agree or disagree, but that's just the facts speak for themselves. I can't do anything about it. I'll just ride a bike. There's nothing to it. Next thing you know, it's 3 a.m. You're at a gay club, and again, that's completely fine if you want to do it. You're just fucking now dancing. Oh, it's all inclusive. It's all inclusive. You got cock on your legs now. You got extra cock. You got cock that doesn't belong to you on your thighs. And I'm just gonna innocently bike. No big deal. You're on a cruise ship right now. It's just 400 men twerking. All right, how did it get to this? I miss my wife and family. Biking is how it happened, all right? Biking. I forget whether it was Alberta or Calgary, I forget, or where was it in Canada? I forget, but somewhere they found out there might be a new uptick in AIDS, and not even through the sexual activities, through drug use. And guess what? People were getting the extra AIDS from drug use and needles, dirty needles. Guess where it all started from? Fucking parking lots and bikes, grown men riding bikes. So you wanna have fun? You wanna have fun and get AIDS? Go ahead. Get AIDS. Why don't you just lick the bike with AIDS? Why don't you just lick that bike now? Just pedal your way to AIDS then. Now, if you're tired of, and again, this goes back to this kind of coincides with both the bike story and the vasectomy story, I suppose, because I did think about this. I do want to, be providing you a service. I want to be of service. That's first and foremost. And I thought about it. Condoms are they're a little bit, it's not the best, but I'm like, how do I make it better? Because it's not just for me, for others as well. One, you're probably tired of opening individual condoms and getting it out of the little packets. It's annoying. You wish like you just had endless amount of condoms on you whenever you want it. 2, you're probably like, oh, they say one size fits all cocks, but does it though? Does it? How do they mysteriously just fit all cocks? They don't, do they? It's always a little bit shorter. It's always a little bit too tight, or maybe a little bit too loose, maybe a little bit too long. Those days are gone. Those days are behind us. I'm gonna tell you something. You can save a ton of money and make yourself an individual, personalized condom by simply going to your go to the cabinet in your kitchen, open it up. You're probably gonna find some Saran wrap. That's right, Saran wrap condoms. Next time your chick is in the mood, or your man's is in the mood, and you're like, let me get a pack of condoms. Let me get these 12 condoms, and in between the lovemaking session, I'm gonna take the time to rip them up individually. And you're gonna fumble and you're gonna drop it. You're gonna get nervous. It's not gonna open. Now she's lost the mood for sexual activities because you're just it's up your ass by the time you figure out how to open it up. It's on the ceiling fan. It's just spinning. There's just like one loose condom on the ceiling fan, and it's just like spinning. And you're like, the ceiling is one of those places that you paid way too much. You're living in one of those condos that doesn't have much, but it's got high ceilings. And the condom's now on the fucking ceiling fan, And guess what? You can't reach it unless you get a ladder. But who's going to buy a ladder in modern society? Who buys ladders anymore? You're not a man anymore because you've been reduced to high ceilings and luxury condos for $1.8 million for 400 square feet. That's your life now. And a loose condom because you couldn't get it open. Now it ended up on the fucking high ceiling fan, and it's there, and you can't get it down. And one day it's gonna get you, man. One day it's gonna get you in the corner of your eye, and your eye's gonna start bleeding. You're gonna lose your eye because of this condom. Avoid all that. Avoid all that. Remain in your high ceiling luxurious condos for $1.8 million. But resort to saving some money, time, and energy and get the perfect fit with saran wrap condoms. Wrap as much of it as you like. If you like the thin experience and you want it to feel like skin to skin, do just one roll, just quick roll, you know? And you don't need to make sure it's super tight. That's a myth. As long as it catches most of it, you're good to go. You're like, what about the leaks? If the condom's not even leaking a little bit, low key, it's not even a good condom. You want a little bit of leak. That's what you want, a little bit of leak, all right? Should you want to maintain your erection, wrap it all around, like wrap it tight around your balls to cut off get the blood in there, make sure you get an erection, but then wrap. We'll do another show in the future where we demonstrate how to wrap your cock with the saran wrap. Wrap all around your nuts, wrap it so you cut off the blood flow once it's in there, and you'll forever maintain. It's kind of like, imagine you're basically doing what the Chinese did with the foot binding, but with your cock once it's erect, same concept, and that your cock will remain enlarged forever until you unwrap it. You're like, oh, I wish my cock was a little bit bigger. I wish it was a little bit bigger. Keep wrapping around your cock with the saran wrap. Give it like a 1/4 of an inch. Make it longer. You know, you're now in control of the shape of the cock. Whereas regular condoms is just whatever, a regular condom on top of my cock. No control of girth or length. But that's all gone with saran wrap condoms. I will eventually team up with saran wrap, hashtag saran wrap condoms. We could be sponsored by saran wrap. And we're trying to, diversify and go to Africa and stop AIDS with these. I'm not quite sure. We might go a different route. A lot of people have been trying to stop the AIDS. I think we're going to promote it. We're gonna probably promoting it. It's probably because you want to do your own thing. You don't want to be less like, I'll promote AIDS. We'll make AIDS a thing again with our saran wrap condoms. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, everybody's always against AIDS. There's a whole lot of market piece of the pie that's untouched, and that's people who are pro-AIDS. Get saran wrap involved. Hashtag it, timestamp it, patent it right now. You heard it here first. A lot of people have been, little by little, it's in the underground stages right now. Sure, it might be like, oh, what even is a lot of people? Well, enough that it got, picked up on my radar. Enough that it made, enough noise that I decided to talk about it. Somebody asked, how do I capture an albino, Rob? How do I capture an albino and keep them? Can I keep them? Somebody said. I'm so glad you asked this. Yes, of course. To answer your question in 2 parts, yes. There are ways to capture an albino. And the second portion of this question, can you keep your albino once captured? Yes, you can. There are not too many of them. Of course, albinos are pale, extremely pale. So they're beyond whites. They're not even, and we love our whites. We love everybody, but not the albinos. That's borderline, not quite where we draw the line, but very close to it. If a line were to be drawn, the albinos would be like right next to it. There's the line right there. And then there's an albino fellow just fucking, jerking off in the corner right next to the line. So let's just start with the obvious, of course. The red eyes indicate that, once again, maybe very similar to the rogue ear hair, maybe just another sign of the simulation. I say, if you see the red eyes, that's an indicator that you've encountered an albino. How do you capture them? They are very similar to other humans. What I would recommend, the best thing to do in order to capture an albino is create a fake event. Say that there's an albino event happening. Okay, they get all excited, just making noises as albinos do. Their red eyes glow up as soon as, because they don't get too many events, but as soon as you're like, there's a special event for, fluorescent people with, you can't even tell who's who. They all, are the white ones black or are the black ones white? Who knows? But they all got red eyes, most of them. And that's, again, you see the eyes, don't stare. Say there's an event, there's a special gathering for albinos to meet more albinos. All right, get them all in one place. All right, have a couple of vans ready. All right, go with baseball bats, baseball gloves, and baseballs. Play a little baseball. All right, hand out a little drink. Just have a little, we're just gonna play ball and have a little drink while we do it. Get them loose. Next thing, tell a couple of them, we're gonna drive you home. This is a A to Z service. Baseball, little drink it boot, time for the albinos to spend a little time together. It's just good community vibes. Yes, get in the van, I'll drive you home right now. Kidnap them right there. And there, you got yourself an albino. Now, capturing them is easy, because once again, I said there's not too many events for albinos only, but capturing them is easy. Maintaining them is going to be a little bit more difficult. I suggest you do not let them out of your sight. Put them in, if you've got a basement, originally the basements were actually built for people to have albinos in them. That's how, before TV and radio came along, that was the entertainment. People would come over and you'd have like one albino chained in the basement in the corner. You'd like toss a cabbage at the albino, and it would come at the cabbage and you'd watch them eat the cabbage. And that was the entertainment. That in church. But, we've come a long way since. But nonetheless, the tradition still lives with us. So we could still implement the same chain and cabbage feeding sesh in the basement. Make sure the chain is long enough, but not too long, so that they can use it as a weapon and like wrap it around. Because they're feisty. You don't want those eyes to get you don't want those red eyes to get bloodshot and turn even more red. And that's when the devil is just fucking seeping through their soul. I hope this helps. Of course, take some tape, take some duct tape with you. Take like enough hydration for yourself. They're strong. They are strong. They're gonna put up a fight. But believe you me, once you make the catch, you'll look back and you'll be super pleased with yourself. And it's just one of those things. You're gonna, you do it as a family. Do it if you got young kids. Take your kid with you and get yourself an albino, and the kids can grow up and they can grow up together, and it's just fun for the entire family. And one day, if you decide to let them loose, blindfold them, put a bag over their head, put them in the same van that you captured them in, and drive them off, and just release them in the middle of the woods. That's typically where they all reside anyway, so they'll be back home. And there you go. I hope this helps you. That's how to capture and maintain an albino in your life. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace out. Get out of here.